Hi everyone, this is Athena from Courage Coaching. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If you are new to my channel, then please feel free to click on the subscribe button in order to get notifications for any new videos that I upload. I also have another channel here on YouTube called Inner Flow Art Therapy. On this channel you will find certain art therapy exercises or techniques that you can use in order to regulate your nervous system. Art has been a huge part of my own healing journey, which is why I've created this channel. I'm also training to be an art therapist. So for those of you who would like to try something different, I am offering one-to-one art therapy sessions as well as group art therapy sessions for anybody who's interested in this. So please go over to my other channel and take a look and subscribe if you can, especially if you already support the channel here. Now in today's video, I wanted to talk about the importance of having distance from your toxic family, especially when you are trying to heal from the dysfunction within this family system. Now, a lot of people will say that going no contact is the best way. This, however, isn't for everybody. Not everybody is able to go no contact. Some people are only able to go low contact and to set boundaries. But in this video, I'm going to talk about why creating distance from your family is extremely important when you are trying to heal. Now, do you endlessly tolerate abuse by your toxic or narcissistic parents for the sake of blind loyalty? It's important that you remind yourself that this family system that you are in, this toxic family system that you are in, wants you to stay small. And they want you to not have a voice, to not be your own person. Now, when we create distance in a family that is dysfunctional, this gives us the opportunity to reclaim our autonomy after a lifetime of being the good daughter or the good son in a system that essentially only rewarded obedience and punished selfhood, punished autonomy, punished you having your own personality, your own voice, your own needs. Now, when you are in a toxic family system where one or both parents are narcissistic, emotional enmeshment is a very big part of this, which means that you aren't able to have your own unique experience and you aren't able to have true access to your authentic self. When you continue to be in regular contact with your narcissistic parent as an adult, you will not be able to speak your truth because your narcissistic parent doesn't like your truth. They want you to be their puppet. They want you to be an extension of themselves. So you will never be able to be the person that you were truly meant to be. As long as you remain in contact regularly with your narcissistic parent, you will not be able to be your authentic self. Now, if we talk about a narcissistic mother in particular, she expects her children to perform to her liking. And if they do, she may reward them with a tiny amount of approval, but she may remove this approval at any given moment. Narcissistic parents treat your decisions, your voice, your choices as invalid, as wrong. Narcissistic mothers, narcissistic parents, they overpower you all of the time. They intimidate you just so they can have authority over you and so that they can be in control at all times. Now, is this the sort of life you want to live as an adult, when you are now free to make your own choices, when you are now free to live life on your terms? I truly hope not. The thing is, when we are in close contact with our narcissistic parents, it is very hard to resist being lured back into their control. When we are with our narcissistic parents as an adult, we immediately resort back to being that 9-year-old or 10-year-old child that is under their control, that is scared of their reactions, that is seeking their approval and their validation. And that is why it's so dangerous to have our parent, who is very toxic, in our life all the time. The more distance we can create, the more boundaries we can put up, the better. The tricky thing is that A child will always feel immense guilt, will feel ashamed, and will feel very hesitant to have space from their toxic parent. But this guilt or this shame is only there because your parent has instilled this in you. This is a lifetime of conditioning that has taught you to stay loyal. These feelings are not yours. They have been put upon you. When you are trying to create distance, you will feel guilt, but don't let that guilt guide you. Don't let that guilt make you fall back into their control. Don't forget, you have a voice now. You are an adult. You can make your own choices about how you live your life, about how you speak your truth. It's very important to create distance with a parent like this because it allows you to fully grieve and it allows you the space to heal as much as is possible, because it's important to understand that this type of parenting leaves you feeling deeply unworthy of even existing. This type of parenting leaves you feeling unworthy of receiving good things in your life, of being happy, because they've always overly criticized you, because they've always sabotaged you, because they haven't supported you to be your own person. Self-trust and self-belief are extremely hard when you haven't had a supportive, unconditionally loving parent. And especially when you've had a narcissistic parent. Self-trust and self-belief are very, very hard to build. It takes time and it takes patience. Because when a parent has taken away your worth, when a parent has made you feel unloved, unwanted, when a parent shuts you down every time you have a different opinion to them or you are sad, when a parent doesn't allow you to be yourself, well, that gives you the message that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you shouldn't believe in yourself. The problem is that when, as an adult, someone doesn't have this self-belief and this self-trust, and they are trying to leave the family home and go out into the world and do adult things, it is extremely hard. When you don't have self-belief and when you constantly have self-doubt and you're anxious and worried that you're going to fail, it's very, very hard. You feel like this very scared, helpless child. You feel extremely vulnerable because you weren't given the building blocks to have that safety, to feel that self-belief, to feel okay to go out into the world. So if you really struggle with this, don't be too hard on yourself. This will take time to build. You need the right support though to do this. Now, if you are considering taking some time away from your narcissistic parents, you may even be considering going no contact, but you're too scared. Write down all the things that you feel when you're around them. Do they make you feel vulnerable? Do they make you feel on edge? Are you constantly triggered by things that they say? Is it a certain look they may have that makes you feel really small? It's important to write these things down to remind you of all of the negatives that you are feeling when you are around this parent. Sometimes when we visually look at something, it helps us make a decision. Find a way to express this and find a way to have the courage to take that step, because it's the only thing that will help you. If you are still in contact with your toxic family, try and remind yourself to not share too much with them, because the more information you give them, the more they have to use against you. Don't allow them to do any favors for you, because there will always be some strings attached to this. Try and keep your private life private. Try and just talk about really superficial things. Do not share intimate details about your life, about how you feel emotionally. Just keep it very on the surface. This is important. You have to remember that you are dealing with someone who's extremely emotionally immature, and actually they can't handle normal adult conversations because they always use gaslighting or other manipulation tactics to get their needs met. They are always trying to control you. They are always thinking about their needs in that moment. So it's very important that you are careful in the way that you communicate. And if you can create more distance and not communicate with them, that would be the best thing for you, to give yourself that time to work through your grief and your trauma. And it's so important that you focus on this in your own time and you give yourself the opportunity to find yourself, your true identity. Because let's not forget, when we have been in a family with toxic parents, our true identity has been cast aside. We have been performing for our family in order to gain approval and validation. We have been molded into being what they want us to be, not who we truly are. So finding yourself after this kind of abuse takes time. So it's a new journey of turning over a page and starting again. But I promise you, when you do this, you will feel so much better. You will learn to have self-compassion for yourself and appreciate that part of yourself that was so neglected in childhood. You have to stop yourself from feeling this desperation to be loved by your parent and approved by your parent. This love and approval is never going to come, especially if they have narcissistic personality disorder. You need to give that love to yourself and accept that they are not going to change. Acceptance is key. Once you accept that they're not going to change and they're not going to give you what you need, you will then be able to grieve that loss and then give that love to yourself. I hope you found the content of this video useful. Thank you so much for listening and for watching as always. If you have any questions at all, then please feel free to email me at courageisallyounneed@gmail.com. Take care, everyone, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.